You're listening to the Educating Aiden podcast. Learning things he should probably have already known, one conversation at a time. Here's your host, Aiden.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on my very first podcast. If you know me, you know my whole life I have struggled with my weight, and that's why I have my first guest as a weight loss coach, fat loss coach actually. He has a degree from the University of Ulster in sports theory and practice and has over 7 years experience in the fitness industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Rodgers. Matthew, how you doing, bud?
Hello, how's things?
All's good. How are you? How's your day been?
Yeah, perfect. Really, really good. Brilliant.
Excellent. Now tell me this, Matthew. People are coming to you. You're a personal trainer, yeah?
Yes, I am indeed.
And a fat loss coach.
Fat loss coach.
What are your qualifications for to do a job like that?
Okay. So as you said, I have my degree in sports theory and practice. I also have my level 3 personal training. I have my level 2 gym instruction, and then I also have a bunch of coaching awards based off that as well. Just sports coaching awards like gymnastics, dodgeball.
Oh, gymnastics, sort of yeah. Would you implement gymnastics and stuff like that into?
There is aspects of it where I can bring it in. So there's a lot of shoulder mobility, a lot of hip mobility, that sort of stuff that I can bring in. So sort of like that lifestyle, just daily life things that we can use from just shoulder mobility and hip mobility, and that I probably wouldn't have known if I didn't do the level 2. But yeah, it's good.
And shoulders and hips, would they probably be the most affected areas for somebody that's carrying a bit of weight?
Shoulders, hips and knees, yeah.
Hips and knees, yeah. And like, there's a lot of people overweight now. Yeah, more people than ever. What's the statistic on that?
So at the moment we're 3% increase in the last 3 years. So from 2006.
And what's that for obesity or just overweight?
That's obesity, yeah. So from 2016 to 2019, it's went from 26% of adults to 29% of adults. And that's according to the NHS in the UK. So worldwide, I'm not sure completely what the figures are, but in terms of UK NHS figures, we've increased 3% in 3 years. So if we continue to go to that. You talk 10% in 10 years, you talk 15%, you're talking, it's not long before you're looking at 30-40%.
So would you describe it as an epidemic at this point?
I think at the moment it has a potential to be an epidemic, yeah. I think we're definitely becoming a lot more aware of it, but just because people are aware of it doesn't mean they're going to do something about it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think at the moment, everything's so easy at the moment. It's, in terms of, we have Uber Eats. You can sit in your sofa. You can order from 5 different places, and you get it all delivered to your front door. You don't have to move. You've got basically every fast food outlet is now delivering. You've got so consistently. If you go to the car park of big supermarkets, big shopping centres, the busiest place is right at the front door because people can't be bothered walking from 20 metres away. Where
I have to say I'm completely guilty of that.
It's so true.
I'll circle the car park until I find a close enough spot.
Right at the front door, completely.
You know, Exhibit A, folks. If you just park a wee bit further away, you'll be fine.
That's a hashtag I use in social media, hashtag park further away. If you park further away on Instagram, hashtag coach by Matt and hashtag park further away.
Excellent.
That's what I use. And it's so small, but it can be those extra 20, 40, 50 steps. You do that 5 times a day, you've increased your step count by 200, 300 steps a day. So something I'll do with some of my clients is park far away, leave your lunch in the car.
Yeah.
So you maybe have an extra 200 steps into the office. You go out and get your break, and you do the extra 200 steps out, 200 steps back in. You've already gone up by 600 steps. Then you go back out to get your lunch again. You go in and out for another 400 steps, another 1,000. Then you go out to the car again. You're up by 1,200 steps just by leaving your lunch in the car and parking further away. Do you know what I mean?
You're talking about counting steps. What should the average person be doing step count wise per day just to be in that active range?
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously your Fitbits, your Apple Watches, all those sort of gadgets are huge at the moment. I would tailor my step count based off the individual. So if I have somebody and they're sitting at a desk all day and they are working 9 to 5 jobs sitting at a desk, or I have somebody and they're a waiter, the waiter's probably going to do 8, 10, 12 times 8, 10 or 12 times the amount of steps as somebody sitting at a desk. So a waiter, I'd be looking at probably in around 15 to 20,000 a day. Somebody sitting at their desk, we're trying to get in around 7.5 to 10. Now, there's no research based off that doing 10,000 steps a day actually makes you lose more weight. There's absolutely nothing to support that at the moment. But it's just sort of a goal. It's like an aim for people to try and get towards.
So I understand there's no basis behind that, but I suppose moving more.
Yeah, it's
any kind of movement.
Yeah, it's move more and eat less is what it is.
That's what it boils down to. And that's all we have time for, folks. No.
That's this week's podcast done.
Well, say someone comes to you, Matt,
Yes.
and how do people generally approach you? How do people get in contact with you if they wanted a personal trainer or a fat loss coach like yourself?
Okay. So most of my 85% of my clients at the moment have contacted me through social media.
Okay.
The other 15% have either known me previously and just have contacted me through family members or just contacted me just as friends. So basically what I will do is they'll message me, and straight off the bat of that is I will send them a little calendar that will allow them to book in for a consult.
Mm-hmm.
And that consult is basically me going through their goals, going through what is preventing them from achieving those goals at that time. The benefits of them achieving these goals that they have, so increased body image, increased confidence, increase the plethora of benefits that come with increased health and fitness and lifestyle.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm trying to get a client that comes to me to be healthier, happier, fitter, and stronger. Those are my 4 bullet points that I like to work towards. Now, if they don't fit into the client's goals, I'm not going to oppress them upon them. Their client's goals are the absolute utmost of my interest with that one person. So we'll talk about their goals, we'll talk about any barriers that they're facing to achieve those goals, and we'll talk about the benefits towards those. Then we'll talk about any form of relationship with food they have. So are they a snacker? Do they eat way more calories in the evening? Are they not really a breakfast eater? Do they really struggle with consuming high calorie drinks? Do they like to go out at the weekend? All these sort of things. So what is there that's sort of what within their diet and their relationship with food is sort of creating a barrier to achieve this goal that they have. And then basically we'll get to the stage of the consult where, so if you go into GP surgery and you say, doctor, this is what's wrong with me, and doctor goes, okay, I'm a doctor, this is what I want you to do to try and combat that.
Yeah.
Basically we get to a stage in the consult where I then prescribe and say, this is what I want you to do to try and work towards your goals. So it will be something like so it'll be tailored nutrition plan. Well, see, the thing is, as a level 3 fitness instructor or level 3 personal trainer, I'm not actually qualified to give a nutritional plan, so I don't. I give an amount of calories that I want that person to work for, and I hit a protein goal that I want that person to try. I suppose
there's a common sense level there too. You know, people that are coming to you, they're probably not leaving you and going, well, I'll just go to McDonald's for lunch.
Yeah,
you
completely.
know, there's a common sense approach too.
Yeah, there is massively. So we have so basically I'll give them an amount of calories, an amount of protein I want them to stick to, and then I will give them a training program tailored to their goals and what equipment they have. So if they have a few pieces of equipment at home, I can use those. They don't have to go and take out extra gym membership, so it's a wee bit more cost effective. I will then.
But you are based in a gym yourself. If someone was to come to you, so nobody's sitting at home going, oh, I'd love a personal trainer, but I've got no weights at home. I've no treadmill.
Completely.
They can still come to you and have full access to facilities and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if they come to me, they'll have full access to facilities while they're on a one-to-one basis with me. Now there is also an option to do all of your training at home. You can be just as effective with your fat loss workouts and just as effective with achieving your fat loss goals at home as you can in a gym. A gym is just an environment that assists you slightly. It's not really something that is essential, but it does help. It's like an added on benefit.
Yeah, well, I know as a fat person, like the last place I want to be is a gym, and not because I don't want to get in shape. It's because of you're going in there and there's people that have been working out, ripped guys, really fit people, and you just feel so out of place. Yeah, you know,
completely.
Do you get any of your clients would come in or maybe wouldn't go to a gym because of those things?
Yeah, so I've had a couple of people that I've sort of had to increase their confidence and increase their security with sort of this idea of, even the idea of doing a home workout to them can feel quite just it's the unknown. It's that fear of the unknown. It's not
Yeah.
something they've ever done before. It's, I don't want to do it and do it wrong. It's just that, and that's what it is. And having a personal trainer can really, it's sort of just taking you by the hand and just sort of, it's like walking into that first day of school. It's like whenever your
Yeah.
mum's holding your hand, walking into you feel like you take on the world. You're like, yeah,
Yes.
I've got my mum here. I'm sweet. So basically, what we do is we take you in, and we will not ask you to do anything that you're not capable of doing.
Yeah.
It's you going in. It's you. That main session isn't even really about you burning as many calories as you can. It is about you going in and feeling confident that in that environment, feeling like you're not being watched, because you probably won't be. And the idea is that
Yeah,
people
it's probably all in your head.
It is completely. The idea is that people are too worried about how they look themselves that they're not really taking in what's really going around them. And with phones nowadays, people are sitting on their phones while they're on machines, and there's TVs on with things going on, and like they're having a chat amongst themselves. And that gym I work in is so good at there being no stigmas and no like pre-made conceptions, and all my clients to come in say, I love this environment. Everyone's concentrating on working out for themselves to better themselves. They're not worried about what anybody else thinks. They're doing it for themselves and themselves only. And it's such a nice environment to be in. Really, really good environment to be in.
So how would you go about assessing a client? So from someone first messages you, what's your next step of those?
Okay, so somebody first messages me. Like I said, we set up the consult.
Okay.
And
what's the do you have to pay for a consult?
no, consult's completely free. So basically what we'll do is I'll take you either to a coffee shop, or we'll have a quick 20-minute chat.
You don't go to McDonald's now?
Sadly not.
No.
Sadly not. Well, we could go and we could just have the coffees.
Not that we're sponsored by McDonald's in any way, shape or form.
Yet.
Not yet. We're
And-
working on it. Ronald, we're coming.
We're coming for you. So so we'll go for a coffee. We'll have a very, very relaxed chat, and like I said, we'll set out your goals that you have. We'll look at any barriers that you have to achieving those. We'll look at what the real positive outcomes of you achieving those goals would be. We'll talk about your food relationship. I touched slightly on what I would prescribe. So I talked about prescribing the calories and the protein. I talked about giving you the training program, and then I would also give you the accountability of once a week we will check in, and you will have 3 different sort of like progress measures. Okay, so the first one will be I have 3, and I need clients to pick 2. So
Okay.
we have photos. So it's a front image, a side image, and a back image.
Yeah.
We have measurements, which take from 7 different points. So neck, arm, chest, stomach, hips, thigh, and calf. And then,
Okay.
yep. So those are our different measurements that we use.
And does the client take them
client
themselves?
takes those themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one is measurement, picture, and weight as well. But I'm not massive on weight, because there's so many different things that can be affected by your weight. So if somebody goes from being 186.3 pounds to being 187, it's not that they've gained fat. It's probably it's one of many different things. So it can be affected by the amount of water you've drank in the last 24 hours, the amount of sodium you've consumed in the last 24 hours, because sodium will really hold on to the water that's
What's
in
sodium,
your body.
like a salt?
Yeah, just like a salt. So high in convenience foods, high in crisps, high in just so many different things contain salt nowadays.
And can you see it, say if you were to pick up like something out of the shop that has the nutritional information, is it on the back how much sodium's in it?
Yeah, it is indeed.
Yeah.
So your sodium intake, your water intake, whether you've been to the toilet in the last 24 hours, how much you've been to the toilet in the last 24 hours, when the last time you ate was, if you're a female, if you're on your time of the month, how much glycogen's being stored in your muscles at that one time due to training and protein intake. So there's so many different things that can affect your weight and weight fluctuation. So often a client will come to me, and the client did come to me 2 weeks ago, and he went from, I think he went up by 0.6 kilos or something, and
Yeah.
he sent me that over first, and he went wee bit down, weights went down, and he sent me over, and his measurements were down by 4.5 centimeters in total,
I bet his weight was up.
but his weight was up. So
Okay.
it was literally just maybe the last time he ate, the water he's had, sodium, glycogen, could have been anything. So I sort of say to him, look, don't worry about the weight. We'll really hold on to the fact that you lost 4.5 centimeters across all measurements. So,
And you would rate the well, obviously the measurement of the body or over the weight.
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
Hugely. I think measurements sort of only really something that I would use if somebody says, I want to go from being 14.5 stone down to 13.5 stone.
Yeah.
Well, then that's a real clear goal that they have. So it would be stupid of me not to use it as a measurement tool. Do you know what I mean?
As a target for them.
Completely.
Yeah, because like I know myself, I'm hung up on the scales. You know, it's because it's the most, it's the quickest thing you can see. You're not going to stand around measuring yourself.
Yeah, so, and that's the thing. That's where the accountability of having a personal trainer or a coach and making, and that you know when you have to do those measurements really comes in. So you know you have to. At the moment, I don't do any body measurements myself because there's nobody texting me every Monday morning going, okay, what are your body measurements for this week? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't have that accountability. As long with that check-in, so your progress measurements of pictures, measurements and weight.
Yeah.
We also rate 5 lifestyle factors. So we rate your energy for the week based off the calories and the training that you've done.
Okay.
So if your energy is quite low, then we'll obviously up your calories and maybe reduce your training down a wee bit. And we rate your sleep, so how you've slept for that week, your food satisfaction. So are you eating foods that you're enjoying, or are you eating chicken, rice and veg out of a Tupperware 6 times a day, which is just horrendous. Nobody wants to be doing that. And then your hunger levels, so how hungry you were with your calories and your protein intake. And then lastly, your sustainability. So if I asked you to do that for the next 3 months, 6 months, would it be sustainable? And if it's not, then that is my biggest kicker.
You see, that's my biggest issue. I start off with these great intentions. I'll do this super low calorie diet or super strict low carb something for 3 weeks and get amazing results, and then can't keep it up.
Yeah.
Just completely goes.
So I actually put a post up about this today, and it was about you're better to go to the gym once a week for a year, so 52 sessions, than go to the gym 5 times a week for 2 weeks. 10 sessions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that idea of you wouldn't run a marathon by sprinting the first 5 miles.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
well,
yeah,
no, not really, because you might know this, but I'm not much of a runner.
I'll start off with the first part of that sentence. You wouldn't run a marathon. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's people's approach to it. We go into things and we're so inconsistent and sustainable with our approach to things, but yet we expect them to work, and then we don't do anything different the next time we approach it, and we get all confused as to why it didn't work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's human nature, though.
Completely.
Definitely human nature, because I can't tell you how many times I've started a weight loss journey as such, and put like this, it's never worked. You know, it's quite obvious I'm sitting here and it has never ever worked.
At the same time, there's been times when it has worked.
Oh yeah,
and it just hasn't been sustainable, which is why the sustainability as my last factor is huge. If it's not an 8 or a 9 and the rest of them are all through the roof, I don't really want to know. I'm not really that interested. If they don't feel like what they've done that week's been sustainable, I haven't done my job. Completely.
Yeah, so you're more of a case of small improvements, little and often,
completely,
and keep it going.
A genuine good lifestyle change is what I'm after.
Yeah, but that's not what people want. People like, I know for myself, I want to put in a month, 2 months work, and have it all done.
And that's where I nearly need people to qualify to be able to work with me, where I need to go. So if somebody comes to me and says, I'm going on a holiday in 6 weeks' time, I'm sort of going, do you know what I mean? Yes, okay, in 6 weeks' time we can do a really good, decent bit of work, and we can change your body composition well, but is that really the sort of type of client I'm trying to work with? Not really. I'm trying to help somebody who is maybe struggling to do their housework because their hip mobility is poor and they're a wee bit overweight and they can't get down and clean the TV stand. Do you know that sort of thing? Where like they're struggling to go outside and play with their kids for more than half an hour because they're getting out of breath. So things like that were true, genuine lifestyle factors that will, and I hate to sound corny or anything like that, but generally will change your life. And that's what I want to work with. That is, definitely.
And what do you think the main stumbling blocks are for people from getting from the couch to even seeing you?
Okay, I think I think the biggest one is it's not high enough up the priority list. That doesn't seem like it's something you wouldn't go a month without putting diesel in your car, depending on how many miles you drive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
You wouldn't go a month without putting diesel in the car because it's a priority. You need it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go a week without buying some form of food for the house because it's a priority. It's something we need.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? It's a matter of high up the priority list losing weight and fat and improving your health and lifestyle is for you is where I think the problem is. And I think it's that most people that I've worked with have had a moment of realization where they go, oh, so maybe it is.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I have been there. I have went to button my trousers and all of a sudden they were fitting yesterday, but today I'm like,
that's it.
and you're going, what the hell happened?
Completely.
Or you sit on a chair and it kind of goes underneath you and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know? But what about those people that say are too anxious?
Yeah,
What would you say to someone that's sitting at home going, you know what, I'd love to go and see a personal trainer, but there's just that anxiety stopping them.
Yeah, okay. With something like that, I feel like you need to find somebody that you trust enough in that you know that what your time with them is going to be of a massive benefit, and also that not that yes, you trust the process they're going to put you through, but you trust them as a coach and they're not going to push you too hard. You're not going to, nothing that they ask you to do is going to make you feel uncomfortable. It's that real stigma around a gym of people being in leggings and sports bras and tight tops and stuff that can just completely scare people away.
It happens to me when I go shopping and I wear a sports bra.
Yeah.
People get freaked out.
Is that your most favorite thing?
I know.
It's like it's just it, and don't get me wrong, they can be intimidating if you let them be intimidating.
I suppose it's all about how you approach it.
It's completely it's very easy for me to sit from a point of view where somebody who's never been intimidated by a gym environment to say, but I have had people and they've come in, and whenever they've come in with me, I take them straight away. I don't bring them to the treadmill because the treadmill is a comfortable place. The treadmill is, I know how to get here, I know how to walk, and I literally can sit here and then I can worry about every single thing that's going to have to happen after that.
Yes.
I don't let that step happen. We go straight in and we stretch, and I'll ask you to do something that you can do but you haven't done before. So straight away you're learning a new thing and you're going, I didn't think this was going to be, I thought I was just going to, so I'm asking you to do something and you're going, I don't know what that is. And then you do it and you go, it's actually not that hard.
That wasn't so bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll ask you to do another new thing and you go, that's actually not that hard either. And then I'll start to bring back some familiarity and you'll go, yes, this is what I like. I know this, and I know this. So yeah.
Now, I know you can't give nutritional advice, is that right? Or you can give advice?
So I can give nutritional guidance, not nutritional advice, yeah.
What kind of diet would you be recommending for the normal man or woman?
Okay. So I have clients on a number of different diets. My diet that I would recommend, this is I don't know if it's a generic answer, but it's a generic answer that I give to a lot of people, is the one that is most consistent and sustainable for you.
Okay. So there's no magic recipe as such.
To me, the magic recipe is burn more than you consume.
Right.
Okay.
So calories in versus calories out.
In versus calories out. So what we have on one side is the amount of calories that we expend in a day. Now, this can be made up of 3 different things. So it's made up of your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, which is basically the amount of calories your body needs in a day to survive.
Or just for like organ function, stuff like that.
To keep you running. Okay. The second thing that is made up of your total daily expenditure. So your TDEE is your total daily expenditure. Okay. Is your TEF, so your thermic effect of food. That's basically the amount of calories your body is using to break down the food you're eating, to store the nutrients and absorb the nutrients and use them basically. So it's just your TEF, the amount of calories you're using basically to absorb, digest.
Just to digest the food and get it into your body.
Yeah, completely.
Okay.
And then your third one, your PAL, so your physical activity level. Okay. So that is broken down into 2 stages again, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Okay. Which is basically anything you do that is not planned. So fidgeting, scratching, like just sort of like...
Oh, really? All that kind of stuff comes into it?
Completely, yeah. So There's this movement at the moment which is called NEAT Up 24/7. So trying to get as active as you can, but not really planning it, if that makes sense. So sort of like just coming to the lift and going, nah, taking the stairs. So you haven't actually planned to go and walk up a set of stairs,
Okay.
but you're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's where parking further away comes in. You're going to go and park your car, but you're just
Okay.
going to park further away.
And all
Just-
those things would make a difference.
Yeah, so just trying to be as more active as possible. So if you park further away, so like I said, with that case earlier on, whenever you're parking further away, maybe so you're parking further away to go and get your lunch and blah blah blah, so you're increasing your steps by 1,200 a day. You're doing that 7 days a week. You're up by over 8,000 again.
Don't be asking me to do maths. I know this show's educating Aiden, but don't ask me to do maths because it's going to be
8,400.
wrong. Up, there you go. He's a genius.
8,400. So you're up by 8,400 steps in that week just
Yeah.
by parking your car 200 steps further away and going out and getting your lunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's we
How would you calculate then the calories that's being burnt per day for a client? Is there a method for that?
So I didn't even finish that off. Sorry. So your
sorry.
NEAT. So your NEAT, and then your other ones your just your PAL. So your physical activity level, which is basically everything that you have planned to do. So your gym session or your running session, or
Yes.
going
for a
the
walk,
dogs,
yeah.
or going hiking or something like that. So that's the amount of calories you burn in a day,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other side you just have exactly the amount of calories that you consume in a day. So 4 calories in a gram of protein, 4 calories in a gram of carbs, and then 9 calories in a gram of fat. And basically that will... So all you're trying to do is if you burn 2,700 in a day, consume 2,400. That's
Make sure there's a deficit.
a deficit.
And is there a certain deficit per day that people should be meeting if they're trying to lose weight?
So I would look at, it depends how intense you want it to be. For sustainability and consistency, I would look at in around 200 to 300 a day of a deficit. And the thing is, if you go much lower than that, your sleep can really... That is why I use those 5 lifestyle factors. Because
Yes.
if you go much lower than that, your sleep can be affected, your energy can be affected, your food... Not that your food satisfaction won't be there, but just you maybe don't get the same... You're going to feel a lot more hungry. So just sort of things that it can affect your... Without being, it can affect your sex drive massively, and it can affect your energy is probably the biggest one that will affect, and it can affect your mood. So a couple of wee things. So whenever you
But it's crazy when you actually list all those things out. So many parts of your life are affected by what you're putting in your mouth.
yeah, or on the other hand, the amount that you're moving.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could be one of the two things.
that's crazy. And how would somebody go about like trying to work out their own calorific need for it per day?
Okay, so there's loads of different websites. If you plug in again, but on my Instagram page,
Okay, which
there
we'll
is-
link in the description, by the way,
will-
folks.
which is coached by Matt. There's a 35-second video on how to calculate your total daily energy expenditure, and
Okay.
most of the time it's literally just a little TDE calculator. It'll take your height, your weight,
What's TDE? Sorry.
total daily energy expenditure.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh,
So-
you already told me that. Oh.
Okay, educating Aiden, it's all right. And so it will be it's a little calculator. Look at your height, your weight,
Yes.
the amount that you move in a day.
Oh, your height is a factor in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to take in sort of the size of the person.
Okay.
So if you have a much smaller lady versus a much bigger man, the lady's not going to need as much calories, sort of idea. That's just
Okay.
because she's not
Yeah.
going to need her basal metabolic rate's not going to be as high because her
Okay.
body's not going to need as much to survive, basically.
So the taller you are, the more you need, essentially.
Depending on your weight as well, yeah, and how
Ah.
much you move. So there's like 5 or 6 different factors within that.
And what's
will-
that, like a little questionnaire kind of thing?
It's a little calculator, just yeah.
Yeah.
Now the thing with those is so many people use them, and they are usually 400, 500, or 600 calories higher than what they've usually been told by a coach or personal trainer.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, I love them because they are sustainable and consistent.
Yes.
Okay. Now, not with most other coaches or personal trainers, but just so many times people can take a caloric goal and it's so low and not sustainable, which is why we have this thing where we fall off the wagon and then all of a sudden we're back to square one because we haven't been able to implement it and be sustainable with it. So I'm sort of sitting looking at it going, why not increase your calories a wee bit, work with it. If it doesn't work, drop them slightly. If that doesn't work, drop them slightly. If that does work, stay with it until it stops working, and then drop it a little bit, and then stay with it until it stops working, and then
Instead
drop it a little
of
bit.
doing this big giant leap.
Just giant leap where your energy's down, where your sleep's down, where your sex drive's down, where all this other stuff is just...
Man, I can't begin to tell you. Like, I've taken on diets, and like maybe 3 or 4 days, I'm thinking you have the flu. It's that bad, you know, and
completely.
you're all wiped.
Completely.
But you're seeing a small change in the scale, so you're trying to push on through, and then eventually you just completely crash, and you go back to just doing what you were doing before.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's the main issue.
So to answer your question, yes, there is ways of doing it. There's, if you literally just go on to Google and type in TDE calculator, there's so many different ones that you can use.
Yeah, and then you work out a deficit from that, and
so most of them will actually give you an amount of calories and a protein goal to try and hit, to be in a calorie deficit.
Yeah, and is protein the big thing? Because you always hear people taking protein shakes and I need protein to make my muscles grow and stuff. Is it the big thing in the fitness industry?
So the protein is an actual macronutrient itself. It's not actually that key to fat loss. It's just that if you eat high protein meals, they keep you fuller for longer.
Okay.
Because their TEF is very, very high. So TEF for a protein meal will be a lot higher than a TEF for just a carb or a fat meal. And you can also burn more calories by eating protein food because your TEF. Now, it is literally... I don't think that's the reason that we are in an obesity epidemic, is because people aren't eating enough protein.
Yeah.
I think it's obviously other factors, but it's very obviously, if you want to maintain and hold on to any muscle mass that you have, which is what most people want because they want this toned look.
Oh yeah, of course. No, because I've seen people that have went and crashed diets and they've lost a bunch of weight, but they look like death.
Yeah,
like proper.
Yeah.
They look like they've aged 20 years.
Yeah,
you know, and great for them for doing that, but I suppose it's not the outcome they really, really wanted.
No. So basically what it'll do is allow you to hold on any muscle mass that you have. So whenever we strip down that body fat, you get this nice toned look of the muscle with this smaller layer of body fat over the top of it. So that's why most personal trainers will try and hold on to protein as much as we can.
Yeah, because it's always something to be bandied about. Would you say to your clients like to supplement with a protein shake or anything like
so now this is one of the philosophies that I really like, that it's not really something I've developed, but it's just one that I'm very, very strict upon with myself and with my clients. So if I give you a protein goal for the day, so maybe something like, now a way to figure out your protein goal would be roughly your weight in kilograms times anywhere between 1.5 and 2.4 based off your goals.
Okay.
Okay.
And what would differentiate the goals between the 1.5 and 2.4?
So if you want to be in a calorie deficit, so losing fat but gaining muscle at the same time.
Is that possible? Because
so there's a study, this is where my degree's coming in. There's a study that Longland et al. Did in 2016 that states if you eat 2.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, and you're in a calorie deficit, it is scientifically possible to put on muscle mass and drop body fat. Yes, but your calorie deficit has to be within between 200 and 150 of a calorie deficit. So it can't be too much of a deficit. Okay. Because you're still trying to put on muscle mass.
Yes.
But your protein goal needs to be 2.4 times your kilogram body weight. So that's a heck of a lot of protein. It's a lot of protein. Of stuff. It is. So with my clients, I always say pick one and go for it. So it's sort of like trying to put on muscle mass and lose body fat is sort of like having a Ferrari but wanting it to be economical.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Sort of. It is doable to an extent, but at the same time, it's sort of.
Yeah, you're better picking one goal or the other and sticking to that.
Yeah, completely.
And how would people go about tracking like your calories? I know, like I read the back of labels and it's gobbledygook. Like there's just numbers there, and there's kcal and kilojoules, and you're going which is which. You know, which one are people actually meant to be looking for?
Yeah, so. You're usually, and thankfully for the first time in the fitness industry, you're usually looking for the smaller number of the two. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's the calorie will be the smaller.
The calorie will be, so there'll be two numbers. There'll be the kcal and then there'll be the other one, and you're looking for the smaller one. Easy way to track it is MyFitnessPal, and some people don't find it that easy. Some people do. Is it?
What's that? Like
so
app?
MyFitnessPal is a little app. Yeah. So it's an Under Armour sponsored app. It's on the App Store. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. Don't upgrade to the premium version. Just the unpaid version is brilliant. There's a little barcode scanner on it as well, so you can, if you buy like a bar of some form, or you buy like a sandwich, you can generally just scan the barcode, and that will literally bring up the amount of calories, carbs, proteins and fats in that sandwich. You can add it into your diary for the day, and that will take it off your calorie allowance for the day.
That logs it for you and everything?
Yeah, it logs it. And then as a coach, I have a little sort of feature in that app that I can use where people export me their food for the week. So
you can peek in. You can peek in and judge.
I can see what's going on. Yeah. So as a nice little feature where it just allows me to check in and see what their protein goal is and see what their fat is.
Yeah, but that must be really convenient for clients.
It has its place. It has its place. People can become very, very obsessive with it. So I can say, I want your protein to be 120. And people will be sitting late at night going, I've eaten 118, where do I get 2 grams of protein, but I only have 190 calories, and I'm going, chill out.
Yeah.
Chill out. It's a guide.
So these numbers are they're not, and you don't want them to be exactly precise to the calorie. It's
a guide.
Get close.
Get close, yeah. And one of my clients last week said to me, sorry, Matt, I'm not going to be able to send you across my MyFitnessPal for this week because I didn't really use it. I'm really, really sorry. And I goes, hold on. I said, that's good. I said, I don't want you to become a slave to this app. I said, your weight has gone down or stayed the same. I can't remember off the top of my head, but your measurements have all dropped for the first time in 3 weeks. I'm going, and you're apologising because you haven't stuck to an app.
Yeah, the 1 week they hadn't used it. I suppose just from using it, they get into good habits of what they were.
So if you look at it, one of my clients who's come to me and he's completed, I think he completed 8 weeks, and then he's moved on. He's doing really, really well. He's picked up some really good lifestyle habits. He sort of said to me at the start, I thought all healthy foods were low in calories, which was a really interesting statement because sadly it's not really the case.
Yeah, because you get a lot of things that are saying they're low in fat and whatever, and you think they're good for you.
Mm-hmm. So the other day I had like a stir fry and I put 30 grams of pine nuts over the top of it. It was 200 calories, and I was going, hey, hold on, I was trying to pick my pine nuts out of the stir. I could have a Krispy Kreme donut for 200 calories.
Yeah.
Or I could have 30 grams of pine nuts, and I know how I'd rather use my 200 calories. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I suppose when you think about it that way, can you use your calories in that way? Like, say you were having a day and you've got what 2,000? What is the man meant to eat? 2,000 something, is it?
So for myself at the moment, I'm roughly around about 2,100, 2,200. It'll vary person to person based off activity levels and stuff like that.
Was that 2,000?
So at the moment, I'm on 2,100.
2,100.
Yeah.
Like, if you filled that 2,100 with Mars bars.
Would I lose weight? Yes. Would I feel like crap? Yes. Would my energy be down? Yes. Would my sleep be down? Yes. Would my food satisfaction be high? No. Would my hunger level be through the roof? Yes. So I'm eating 2,100 calories. I'm eating probably 5.5 Mars bars. Do you know what I mean?
When you break it down, it's not a lot of food over the course of a day.
Not a lot of food. No. Would I lose weight? Yes. Would my protein level be about 16 grams? Yes. Would I lose all my muscle mass and look like a rake? Yes.
What about all these like protein chocolate bars that are popping up? Because Mars have their own like protein bar, don't they?
Yeah.
Like,
so you asked me a question and I got sidetracked and didn't answer it when you said, do people need the protein bars and the protein shakes? And I started to build up myself and be like, I really like how I think about
your philosophy. Yeah.
So if I've given somebody 120 grams of protein to eat in a day, and
I don't know how 120 grams. Is that a lot?
120 grams is pretty achievable. So you look at a chicken breast, you've probably got between 26 and 30 grams of protein in a couple of chicken breasts. You look at a protein shake is roughly around 20 grams. Okay. Those wee protein bars you pick up around 20 grams. Eggs, 3 eggs, 18 grams of protein. those wee Faye yogurts you can get at the moment. They're like total zero.
Yeah.
So without anything in them, they taste like out of date milk. If you have something,
I have had them before because one of my health kicks. I was like, I'll get some of this yogurt and I'll mix it in with some granola.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this looks amazing. And I put it in my mouth and I was like, oh, what the whole
it can be grim.
So
something
bad.
like, so what I eat that with is granola, grapes and honey. So the honey really takes the sweet, the sort of like bitter, out of date milk taste out of it. So that's got really, really good high protein content. Obviously all your salmons, your meats, your fish. So it is 120 is pretty achievable. But 120 would be quite a low protein target for what I would give somebody.
Really?
Yeah. So going back to my philosophy is that if you can hit 120 grams of protein a day without using any supplementation and using real good foods, that's the ticket. That's the way forward. That's where you're going to get the most energy, and that's where you're going to get the most performance in your training sessions. If you cannot hit 120 grams of protein a day from using natural whole foods, then I can justify the use of protein shakes or protein bars.
It definitely wouldn't be the first step. I
am not going to tell somebody to start drinking protein rather than using it from whole. It's worked for thousands of years. People have been getting their protein from foods. All of a sudden, we've developed this little powdered milk. Effectively is what it is. Does it have more protein in it? Yes, but powdered milk is effectively what we're drinking. So, it's not my first step even slightly. No, I think I've maybe got one client that takes it at the moment. So yeah.
Really, because you always see the guys walking around with the shakers and they're got the protein shake going. And you always think, do I need that? Do I need that?
So if you're going for muscle gain, it's pretty much. Not that it's essential, but I couldn't understand why you wouldn't take it if you're going for muscle gain.
Yeah, so for fat loss, it's not essential. It's almost irrelevant.
No. And loads of people end up saying that it's a waste of money and it's really expensive. You can pick up 30 servings for $17.50, and I don't know where you can get, 60 chicken fillets for $17.50. Do you know what I mean?
If you're getting 60 chicken fillets for $17.50, you should not eat those chicken fillets.
You shouldn't be getting those chicken fillets for $17.50.
They're falling off the back of the truck.
Exactly. So it can be very cost effective if you find cost effective ways. Yeah.
Well, speaking of cost effective, like people that have never had a personal trainer before, what's the general rate for something like that?
Okay.
Because I'm sure there's people at home sitting there thinking, I bet that's wild here.
Yeah, I'd love to, but it's too expensive for me. Yeah. So roughly what it will be is in around 20 to 30 pounds, depending on half an hour, 45 or 1 hour slots. Now, that also can change on payment methods. So if you take out direct debits, some PTs will maybe bring that down because you're committing to a certain amount of sessions.
Yes.
If you maybe
like a bulk buy kind of thing.
Exactly, a bulk buy. So I'm coming for 20 sessions. Okay, rather than that being £25 per session, I'm going to bring that down to £23 per session, and you're just going to pay it off in one lump sum.
Okay.
Sort of idea.
Yeah.
Or you can pay it off cash per session, or you can pay it off. There's so many different ways you can do it. But roughly, it's going to be probably anywhere from 15 to £30 for the
session.
Per session, yeah. Now, the thing is, so many people get caught up and go £30 for 45 minutes, £30 for 1 hour. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
If you look at my coaching, you're paying £30 for the entire week, and you're getting the check-ins on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
You're getting your training program. You're getting consistent nutritional guidance. You're getting your proteins and your calories.
So say someone's having a hump day in the middle of the week, say, and they can just drop you a message and you'll...
Yeah, 24/7 access to me, and I'll answer your question basically any time of the day. Now, I say 24/7 access. If I'm asleep, I'm not waking up to reply to your message. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Of course, there's boundaries.
I'll be up the next morning, probably 5:30 or 6, and I'll reply to it then. So whenever you wake up, your answer will be there for you. So yeah, you're getting your training program, you're getting your nutritional guidance, you're getting your 1-to-1 session with me, you're getting your accountability with your check-ins, and you're also getting your consistent conversations with me any time of the day. So are you paying £30 in exchange for the 45 minutes or the 25 minutes, or sorry, the £25 for the sake of the hour, or the £30 for the sake of the 45 minutes? That is the actual cash exchange.
Yeah.
If you view it like that, there's a whole bigger picture going on.
Yeah.
If you can view it like that, and that you're getting everything else for free, or you can view it that is the price for the entire service, which I think is a much more justifiable way of
And
looking at it.
would one session a week, would that be enough for most people? Or
Depends where people are with their fitness journeys. If you've already been training a while, and you've maybe been training for, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 months, and you've hit a little bit of a plateau. So a plateau is just where you're not seeing any more results.
Okay.
So if you hit maybe a little bit of a plateau, going to one session a week probably isn't going to be enough. Now, coming to PT for once a week is enough, as long as you are implementing your training program that they have given you outside of those sessions.
Oh, so right. It's not a case of going and seeing you and once a week, and that's all I need to do. There's other commitments to that fitness wise.
Yeah, so the training program that I will give you, without talking myself out, the training program I will give you, I will not take you through, because that's a waste of your time and a waste of my time, because you could literally take yourself through the session because I've already given you it.
Okay.
I will take you through a session that I have not given you, because therefore I can teach you new exercises. I can teach you new things that you haven't already been doing by yourself.
Yeah. So the plan will be the stuff that you've gone over previous, so people know what they're doing, and then the new session will be, okay, well, let's change this.
Yeah, let's progress.
Okay.
Some form. Now, also my platform that I use, there's over 1,000 videos on how to do each exercise correctly and with the form. So whenever I give you your training program, you will have 1,000 different videos, and so basically I will attach. So say, for example, I'm giving you a chest press exercise, I will attach a video onto that exercise of how to perform it.
That's weight exercises.
That's the resistance exercise. Yeah. So I'll give you the chest press exercise, and I will give you a video on how to do that exercise correctly. So at no point will you ever be standing in the gym looking at something going,
what does that mean?
What does that mean? Because there literally will be a video sitting right beside it.
Well, speaking of weight training, like what is the? Do you do cardio, weights? What is the? Do you have to do both?
So with my PT sessions, or
well, just people that are wanting to lose weight in general.
Okay. So if you're wanting to lose weight in general, back to my standard answer: consistent and sustainable. If a consistent and sustainable approach for you is weight training 3 times a week, perfect. If a consistent and sustainable approach for you is going out and kicking a football up and down a football pitch 3 times a week, perfect. If it's going hill walking, go hill walking. If it's walking your dog an extra 3 walks a week, go and walk your dog an extra. For me, it literally is what you enjoy.
Yeah.
'Cause if you don't enjoy it, you're not gonna want to be doing it.
We see, I have a lot of people, like when I'm talking and going, well, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get bigger. Is that a thing that as long as if you're meeting the dietary requirements, that won't happen, I suppose?
Differs on gender. If you're a female, you don't have the same hormone level as males. You don't have the same testosterone levels and stuff like that. So you will do now, I'm going to open up. I've been trying to get big and strong for 8 years. It's not that easy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's not something that just will happen overnight. So same way a good meal won't make you skinny in a day, a bad meal won't make you fat in a day, sort of idea. But is it? So for me, basically, whenever I have clients, I have them for that 45-minute period. All my sessions are 45 minutes, and I am just trying to burn as many calories with them in that 45-minute period as I can. So to do that, I will use resistance training. I think...
Well, what is resistance to that, like weights?
Yeah. So resistance training is just putting your muscles under some form of tension by either using barbells or kettlebells or dumbbells or your own body weight or something like that. If I was to bring somebody into the gym and I was to stand beside them while they walk on a treadmill for 20 minutes...
Yeah.
It's very hard to justify having a personal trainer to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I will do... Most of my sessions will look pretty similar because all of my clients have the same goals, which is fat loss. So I'll be doing mostly supersets.
Supersets, what's that?
Yeah, so a superset is basically 2 exercises back to back with no rest, targeting either the same muscle group or targeting opposite muscle groups. So for an example, what we might do is 1 chest exercise, no rest, another chest exercise. So you're basically just exhausting the chest.
Okay.
Or else you might do a leg exercise. So
is that better than just doing the same exercise twice?
Is it better? Depending on your goals, your goal being fat loss and energy expenditure within that 45 minutes, yes, because your heart rate's going to be up from the first one. You're not giving the heart rate a chance to go down, and it's going to have to increase again to complete the second exercise.
Oh, okay.
So by the time the second exercise is done, your heart rate wouldn't have doubled, but it would have gone up.
Cool. Right, we have some social media questions.
Social media.
I put up on Facebook and Twitter and all the social medias that you were coming.
Kids and their social medias.
That's where I have to refer to my notes. Let's see if any of these shock you. Okay,
hit me.
let me see. Right, here's a good one. What's the weirdest diet you've ever heard of?
The weirdest diet I've ever heard of. There's one called, oh no, I don't want to double check myself, but there's one, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you literally, all you consume is fruit juices. For it's literally all you can consume is fruit juice and nothing else.
Would that not just run straight out of you?
Yep, and everything else as well. So like you're talking like pineapple juices, orange juices, tomato juices, and there's not a lot of calories in them. So will you lose weight? Yes, probably. Is your protein absolutely nilch? Yes, pretty much. So I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the diet, but yeah, just literally drinking pure fruit juices.
Yeah, well, speaking of drinks, I seen this article on BBC News website, I think it was last week, about these detox teas. Are those a real thing? Is it?
So yeah, detox teas. How long have I got? Basically,
that bad.
Basically, don't waste your money on them. I could probably make something just as effective with a tea bag, a slice of ginger, some turmeric, and a squeeze of honey. Basically, what you're doing is, if you think about it, so it's like this whole idea of, I was talking about Mars bars earlier on. I could make a Mars bar diet where you eat 2 Mars bars a day, consume 400 calories and lose weight. So these people are basically going and saying, rather than replacing your meal that's going to be 600 calories, you're going to have a drink that's 52 calories. Oh, really? Am I going to lose weight? Yes, because you're consuming 550 less calories for that meal. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, so they instead of them being detox teas that you take on top there, people use them as replacements.
People end up using them as replacements, yeah. And the amount of yuck in them in terms of like laxatives and stuff like that. Like people lose a stupid amount of weight off them because of like all these different sort of additives that are in them. And then you're looking back at that and you're going, my 2 big words, sustainability and consistency.
Yeah, well, if you can't take laxatives every day.
No, it's completely ridiculous. I really do. And at the moment, you have so many celebrities getting paid stupid amounts to endorse them.
Yeah.
And they've got their leggings around their, like a wee bit lower on their first photo. Their second photo, they're hiking the leggings up and making them look so much slimmer. And they're going, oh my word, 30 days. No. You've pulled up your leggings is what you've done, and you've took a picture of you with your tea.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So
what message would you have to anyone that was going to purchase these?
I would say find a calorie. I would say use a TDE calculator. I would say find a calorie amount of, even message me and say, Matt, can you give me an amount of calories to stick to for a week? Yes. I will say yes, and then I want you to be as active as you can in that week. And I want you to take measurements and I want you to weigh yourself. And if you do not see a difference with those 2 things, well, if you don't see a difference, 1, you either haven't stuck to it, or 2, you're just like, there is no physical way of you being in a calorie deficit and not losing fat. It's physically impossible. So I would say save your money. Use your money for something else. Invest it in maybe some nice new gym wear. Invest it in a personal trainer. Invest it in maybe a gym membership. Invest it in a TRX bands and some home workout stuff. Do not spend it on these stupid fat loss teas.
Okay, that's quite clear.
Yes, completely.
It's quite a clear answer. Home workouts. Do you do any home workout videos or stuff like that yourself?
Yeah, I do indeed. So I think they're a brilliant way for people who, like you say, I have a client and she really was not keen on this whole gym environment. I said, no problem. That is not something we need to worry about. I've given her home workout. She's had 3 different home workout videos, and she's now going to come into the gym on, I think next Tuesday. So she's going to come into the gym next Tuesday. Now, That's a big step. And
Yeah, of
she
course.
would not have been able to come into the gym environment if it wasn't for those home workout videos. So basically what I'm going to do is take those home workout videos, just put them into a gym scenario. So we're taking what she's comfortable with,
Which she's already been doing, and then
what
just
she's already
transferring
been
it.
doing, and just transferring it into a gym environment.
Oh,
Now,
excellent.
like I say, Tuesday is not about us getting as many calories burnt in that 45-minute period. It is a matter of her coming in, feeling comfortable with the environment and going, hey, this is not that bad. And that's what I want out of that. I care so much about her feeling comfortable, and if at any stage she does not feel comfortable, we'll get her out of there. Very, very simple.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a really nice approach. Now, when that question came in about the diets, I done a bit of research, and I just want to get your reaction on this. The cotton wool diet. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
This is where people are getting cotton buds, you know, the wee balls, dipping them in like fruit juice and eating that. That's a real thing.
Why?
I don't know. That's supposed to
Why?
make it's going to be dangerous as hell.
I just don't want to,
Swallowing cotton.
get out of the dangerous idea of it. Why? Like, why would you do it? What's the?
I was like I typed in fad diets and one of the first things that came up, and I was like,
diet.
is that real?
Like,
You've never heard of that, no?
No, and there's like, do you know what? When there's success, paths will follow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have clients and they're eating. I hate the word normal, but they're eating standard meals. They're eating a little bit less of what everybody else at the table is eating, and they're going for 4 or 5 extra walks a week.
Well, what about those structured meal plans? You know, you can get people that'll make you your week's meal. Would you recommend anything with
I
that?
have one client who uses them, and he is killing it. Absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Because they are consistent and sustainable for him. He hates cooking. I hate cooking. I
Yeah.
am not a chef. I'm not the cooking man at all.
Yeah.
Nope. So he hates cooking, and they're pretty cost effective for him. They work out around about £3 something a meal for him.
That's quite good.
Yeah, it
because
is
I know
quite
when
good.
I spend, if I go out to a chippy, I'm not spending £3.
No, not even
If
slightly.
I'm spending £3, I'm not eating.
No,
You know.
yeah, completely. So they're pretty cost effective for him. Some of his meals, he's telling me, like, sound really, really nice, and they'll deliver them to you. So if you can afford them and you can find some of the foods that they're cooking and you think that they're and you would enjoy them, then completely, I think they really, really are good wee systems. Yeah, I really do.
Okay.
And they're good whole nutritious foods. They're not.
It's not processed
It's not crap in a tub. Yeah, completely.
Excellent. Okay, let's move on to some more questions. Here's a good one. How do you go about balancing going out, like nightlife, going out drinking, with fat loss?
Okay. Yes, I keep referring back to my clients because that's what I know. These are the examples I can give. I have one client, and he enjoys his social occasions. We will say he enjoys his social occasions. So what we do is we don't want to take that away. We want it to be sustainable and consistent. So if by me taking away his social occasions, that's not sustainable. So what we do is through the week, I'll tell you exactly what his numbers are. So through the week, he eats 1,800 calories a day.
Okay.
So that equals out at 12,600 for the week.
Okay.
Okay. So what we start to do with him is we look at a weekly allowance rather than a daily allowance. Okay. So his weekly allowance is 12,600. If he's going to go out, we allow 2,600 for the Saturday. So that could be more drinks. That could be maybe some form of chippy afterwards. Maybe, I don't know, a Subway or wherever you are, some form of food afterwards. Then for the Sunday, we allow 2,400. So that would be your hangover food. That would be your hangover food. That would maybe be going out for breakfast the next morning if you're out with a group of lads the night before and you're staying over or something like that, or a group of girls. So we'd allow extra calories for the day after. Okay? So 2,600 for the Saturday, 2,400 for the Sunday. Now, you're sitting going, how can you do that and still be under 12,600 for the week? Very, very simple. You've overconsumed by 1,400 calories there so you were allowed 1,800, you consumed 2,600. You were allowed 1,800, you consume 2,400. So you're over by 1,400. What we need to do is make up those 1,400 through Monday to Friday.
How do we do that?
So basically, what we're going to do...
Harder workouts, essentially.
So what we're going to do is take your 1,400 calories and divide it by 5,
Yeah.
which gives you 2,280 per day. and you're going to take that off your 1,800 per day, and that's going to give you 1,520.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So it's going to give you 1520 Monday, 1520 Tuesday, 1520 Wednesday, 1520 Thursday, 1520 Friday,
Yeah.
2,600 Saturday, 2,400 Sunday, still equaling to 12,600.
Wow. That's a lot of numbers, dude.
So basically, a much, much easier way of saying it is, Aiden, I'm giving you a paycheck of £400 for this week. You're
Okay.
going out Saturday and Sunday. You're going to spend £100 Saturday and £100 Sunday.
Yeah, make the rest of it do the rest
Make
of the
the
week.
rest of it do the rest of the week.
Cool.
Much, much easier way of saying
I
it.
suppose alcohol, I suppose, is where a lot of people falter, is it?
Yeah, so it's more the lack of awareness of around what to drink on night out. If you go out and you drink 10 pints of Guinness, it's 2,100 calories. If you go out and drink 10 slim...
That's your full day of
yeah,
eating.
I know. So 10 pints of Guinness. Now, 10 pints of Guinness, 2,100 calories. You go out and drink 10 slimline gin and tonics. That's... It's like 1,150 calories. So
So there's smarter choices
you're
as well.
saving 950 calories there over the course of the evening.
Yeah.
So you're much... Now, it's forecasted for carnage, but you're better to stick to spirits. Far, far, far better. So you're talking...
For weight loss, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking 82 calories in a shot of vodka or a shot of gin or something like that, whereas you're talking 210 in a pint of Guinness. So you're much better to stick to your spirits. Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
That covers the whole night out thing.
I know.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, here's quite a personal one, actually. As a PT, how many hours of the day do you find that you have to yourself for free time for working out?
Okay. So for myself, I generally find it quite easy to get my sessions in because I am in the gym and I say I might have a client at 10, then I might not have another client to maybe 12. So the first client would be 10 to 10:45, and then I can train from 10:45 to say 11:45, 15 minutes to shower, and then I can take my client again at 12. So in terms of getting my own training in, it's not really that hard. So people say, oh, it's hard to find time to get to the gym. I'm already there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't really have that excuse. In terms of time to myself, at the start, I'm not going to lie, very, very hard to manage. Very, very hard to manage because I allow this 24/7 access to myself.
Yeah.
And I've got to a stage now where I've got a client base that, now they don't hound me, and they don't, now at the start, I don't really believe that there's a stupid question. Somebody just doesn't know the answer. Okay, so at the start, it was because I knew the answer, it doesn't mean that they should have known the answer, and I found that a wee bit hard at the start. They were sort of asking me a question, I was going, well, yeah.
How do you not know
yeah,
this?
Exactly,
Yeah.
but then I was sort of going, well, you wouldn't be asking me if you didn't know.
Yeah, it's like, remember Chris Tartan, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes, exactly.
It's only easy if you know the answer.
It's only easy if you know the
Yeah.
answer, completely. So,
Getcha.
I do find it hard to try and get away from my phone. Now this new app, a new sort of system that I've brought in, allows me to really get away from it a good bit. It has everybody's workouts there. It has their training videos there. So I'm not getting a message saying, what's this exercise? The exercise is already there with their video. So it's an investment that has allowed me to step back a wee bit and just sort of go, sort of just in how would you say it? Sort of like giving the client the sort of tools that they need to just go and do what they need to do. And if they have any queries, then they can come back to me. So at the start, it was horrendous. Now it's a lot better in terms of trying to get my own time. Yeah.
Another one of the questions here, Matt, is about intermittent fasting.
Yep, I have. Yeah, cool.
It's a big thing.
It's big, yeah.
Like I be on Reddit and it is huge. Every like progress pic you see, it's always either intermittent fasting or keto.
Keto, yeah.
Yeah. What about intermittent fasting? Is it something you would recommend?
Guess what my answer is going to be.
Yeah.
Go I have a client, and he works in does he work in? Yeah, he works in a warehouse, basically stacking shelves and sort of sorting out orders and stuff like that. And he does intermittent fasting, and because he's so busy during the day, he eats between 7:30 and 3. Once he finishes at 3 o'clock, he just sort of he maybe might go for a walk or something that night, but his energy expenditure in the evening isn't that massive, so he doesn't eat in the evenings. Does that work for him and his lifestyle? Yes. Is it sustainable? Yes. Can he do it consistently? Yes. Is it good for him? Perfect. Now, if I had another client and they're sitting at a desk 9 to 5, and their energy expenditure isn't very high during that 9 to 5, and I say, this is the only time you're allowed to eat, but whenever you're going to go home, you're going to have to look after your kids, you're going to have to do homework, you're going to have to, I don't know, you're going to have to go to training, you've also got football on tonight, so you're going to have to do all of that, but you're not allowed to eat, sorry. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
So, I feel like it can be very good for some people based off their lifestyle, if you can fit it into your lifestyle. So if I say to you, Aiden, you're allowed to eat for 6 hours of the day, or I say, Aiden, you're allowed to eat for 24 hours of the day.
Well, of course you're going to choose the 24.
You're going to choose the 24, but you're going to consume less, more than likely, within that 6 hour window, because you've got less time to eat.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's in a nutshell. That's basically what their gig is that you're cutting down your amount of time that you can eat.
And what about the keto thing? Is that something you would recommend? And if you can explain what keto is.
Okay, so keto is basically it's effectively zero carb, if not between 0 and 50 grams of carbs a day.
Okay.
It's cutting out a lot of your processed foods. It cuts out basically all your processed foods. I just think it's boring.
Okay.
I just think, why do it?
Why restrict yourself
Why
so much?
restrict yourself? Why restrict yourself to eating an avocado for 360 calories when you can have a donut for 200?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And yes, okay, you get so much more nutritional benefit from the avocado. I'm not saying don't eat avocado, and every time you see avocado and see a donut, have the donut.
Avocados are huge. They're a fruit that I never seen before, and then all of a sudden they're everywhere.
Some man put it on a bit of toast and slapped an egg on top, and the whole thing's went mad for it.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts.
But yet at the same time, it's become this real healthy food. It's got 360 calories in it. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's mad. So keto, yes, again, if you can fit it into your lifestyle and your goals, and it's good for you, then yes, 100%, really, really good. I just think it's a wee bit boring. I would never ever put it onto somebody, and that's the same with all these diets. I didn't advise that client to go on to intermittent fasting. I didn't say, I think this is a good idea for you. He came to me and said, I've been reading about this and I want to give it a go. He's been doing it now from April and has absolutely nailed his results off it. He's been doing really, really well. So, yeah.
Right. Our last social media question.
Okay.
Ready for this one?
I don't know.
How do you keep your clients motivated?
Motivation. Okay, cool. Motivation. Motivation is basically your want to repeat an exercise or repeat a task after doing it for the first time, or after thinking about doing it for the first time. Mm-hmm. So, basically, how do I keep clients motivated? I consistently remind them of their goal that they have set to me at the start. So one guy said to me, I want to get into these 5 shirts. I consistently reminded him, 5 shirts, 5 shirts, 5 shirts. This is what we're aiming towards. Aiming towards these 5 shirts. This is what it's all about, 5 shirts.
So it's very important to start with a goal, something to achieve.
3 big goals. Make them so big that you, one that's very achievable. Uh-huh. Another one that you sort of think, yeah, I could do that, but I'd need to push a wee bit. And the third one where you just go, that's so far out of my reach, but I'm going to go for it. So yes. three big goals. Once we tick the first one off, that motivates the second one. You're going, okay, cool. That one's not that far away now.
Yes.
And then it's sort of like a wee kid doing keepy uppies. He goes, I want to get 10. And he gets 11, and he goes, 15's maybe possible now. And he gets 19, and he goes, I want to get 20. Do you know what I mean? So it's that sort of like little idea where you get one little stepping stone, you knock that over, and all of a sudden you can see the one past it, and you go, yeah, I can get that one now. So I always, now those check-ins are huge for motivation, because if people stick to what I've asked them to do and they implement what I've asked them to do, they will see the results, and results are motivators, huge motivators. If somebody loses 4.5 centimeters in a week, which is completely doable, then that's not 4.5 centimeters off one body site, and they're going from being a size, 14 down to a size 10. That's not what's happening here. Yeah. It's 4.5 centimeters off 7 different body sites. So okay, it'll be a lot difference losing 4.5 centimeters off one body site.
Yeah, that would be quite a big amount.
It would be, all right. Yeah, but no. What was your actual question?
How do you keep your
Yeah,
clients
how do I
motivated?
keep them motivated? So yeah, consistent. Whenever their results are good,
Yeah.
that does it for them. That motivates them.
Yeah.
And I just have to keep reiterating them. We have to set out the goals at the start, keep reiterating the goals. I just have to consistently talk to them during the sessions. It's really easy to keep them motivated because that's the fun
Yeah.
time. That's the really enjoyed time. The time where I feel like clients become the least motivated is whenever they don't talk to me. So you can see somebody become unmotivated whenever you see they haven't written to you in 3 or 4 days, and you're going, okay, I need to check up on him, just see what his gig is.
And you check in with your clients?
100%, yeah, 100%. That's what I'm being paid for. That's what my job is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not really just that 45 minutes.
Oh, not even slightly, no.
No,
I
so much more than that.
genuinely care about every single one of them, every single one of their circumstances, everyone. And you end up getting told so much. You end up getting told so much more than just about their health and fitness lifestyle. There's always something else going on. It's maybe their goal was, I wanted to fit in these 5 shirts. They reached that goal, and then all of a sudden that goal wasn't big enough. You ask why, and it was maybe because they weren't comfortable getting changed in front of a partner. And it can be something as deep as that. It can be something that you genuinely are. You're genuinely helping somebody with something as deep as that, and feel more confident in that. And for me, it's just, that's huge. Like that is so special to me, that I can help somebody feel as confident as that, or even try to aim towards being as confident. That's such a big part of somebody's life. That's so special to me, that I can help somebody do that. And if they care so much about it and they've come to me and invested in me, then I should care about it just as much as them, if not more.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
It's a perspective I never looked at, because you think you're just paying this guy to tell you to do stuff.
No, I don't see it like that at all. I see it as you're paying me to help you achieve that goal. And if I don't help you achieve that goal, I haven't done my job, if you've implemented everything I've asked you to do.
Well, that's definitely changed my opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely has. Now, I don't want to start a tradition, because this is the very first podcast.
Okay, cool.
And I was thinking, how do we come to like a natural end?
Okay.
And I thought to myself, you ever watched Inside the Actor's Studio?
Okay, no, but go on.
No. Well, what it is this like drama college in America.
Okay.
And every so often a famous actor will come and they'll be interviewed by this guy, James Lipton.
Okay.
And they'll talk about their career and all the rest of it. But at the end of these 10 questions, they're called the pivot questionnaire. And it's the same 10 questions for everyone that gets asked them.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
Would you be up for doing them?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Don't back out at me, right?
I won't.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to start off with, what is your favorite word?
Positivity.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What-
And I'm positive. I'm all over like a rash. I love positivity. I feel like it's so infectious. I feel if you come across somebody and they're really positive, you can really feel that, and you can give the whole, that's a positive person there. They're and it's not that whole idea of lighting up a room that you come into. I think that's more like a personality and like a real like outgoing like extrovert, but just like looking at a scenario that's maybe not fantastic and finding the good in it. You know, so that real love positivity. Positivity is, that's what, yeah.
Okay.
Love positivity.
Well, on the flip side of that, second question is, what is your least favorite word?
Negativity.
Suppose that's
Yeah,
should have seen that coming.
Yeah, negativity.
Negativity.
And just anything. I just really don't like when. So you can be an example where, I have been this example where we're sitting in a staff room and a member of staff said, "Oh, only halfway through the week." No, yeah, only halfway through the week, and I went, "Well, only half the week left."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
That's
it's-
half full.
Yeah, and it's raining outside. It's up. Yeah, well, then be happy that you're not sitting outside eating cold sandwiches out of a lunchbox, that you're
Yeah.
inside where it's warm, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
just trying to look at, negativity is not my gig. I think it's so infectious, just like positivity,
Yeah.
and can just have the complete opposite result. And why be negative when you can be positive?
Okay. Number 3. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Love seeing people doing well. Is that really what you're asking me? No,
Yeah.
I don't think it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
So love seeing people doing well. I love seeing people, love it whenever somebody does something and you're sort of going, I don't think that'll work, sorry, and they prove you wrong. You go, oh yes, nice.
Yeah.
Love being proved wrong with things like that.
Cool.
Where you go, I didn't expect you to do that, and you absolutely knocked it out of the park. Love that. Especially whenever I doubted them, and then they do it. I'm like, yes.
Brilliant.
Love that.
Well, question number 4 then is, what turns you off?
negativity.
Is there any character traits that you see in people that you're like, no, I just don't
Boastful.
need you? Okay.
Don't like. Now, I think there's a very fine line between being cocky and confident. A very, very fine line. I always use the phrase, there's a fine line between cocky and confident, and I've absolutely nailed it, which is sort of ironic in itself. But so there's I don't like boastfulness. I don't like people who talk about what they've come from. So if they've had something given to them, or like they've inherited something, I don't like them. I don't really like that being talked about too much. So I think I don't like people bigging themselves up.
Okay. Now this is a good one. What's your favorite curse word?
Favorite curse word. I am such a child when it comes to curse words. I love stuff that are like, I don't like if you have like the big five, I don't like them. I like stupid things like, oh, you Nimrod, or like you absolute helmet, like that sort of stuff. Like I love stuff like that where it's like so like not commonly used and like out there. I love that sort of stuff.
I read a post on Reddit a few weeks back, and someone was saying you can increase the value of a swear word by adding the word nugget straight after. So if you're at home, give that one a try.
Give that one a try. Yeah, just go through them.
Number 6.
Yes.
What noise do you love?
Oh, love the noise of like, some people really don't like it, but I love the noise of like bones cracking.
Really?
Yeah, so like, see those chiropractor videos?
Yeah. Oh,
of, like,
yes.
people being adjusted. Yeah, love those.
Have you ever had that done?
No, I haven't had it done. I have a physiotherapy practice that I just believe completely in, and the guys down there, I don't think I'd ever go to anybody else.
Do you want to give them a shout
Yeah,
out?
so a Back on Track physio down in the Linen Green. Like just absolutely unbelievable, really, really good. Anybody that has ever come to me, whether a client or not, or just a friend, I've always sent them there, and every time they come back to me and they go, that's unbelievable down there. They're so professional. They're not high performance based, but they've all got experience working with either Northern Ireland football team or Ulster Rugby or ladies hockey or something like that. So, and there's a really good Pilates instructor down there as well. So they've just such a phenomenal setup, and I just they're down in Linen Green, down in the Linen Green in Dungannon, Back on Track. Really, really good physio. So, in terms of that chiropractor and adjusting, no, I've never done it, but I love that, like that noise, like
that big crunch.
Yeah, it's class.
So what's the opposite of that? Number 6 or number 7? Sorry. What sound do you hate?
Oh, knives and forks scraping off a plate.
Oh, yeah.
Not a cool sound. And then probably one that you're going to get a lot, dentist drills.
Yeah.
Dentist drills are not cool.
No. I don't think. Is there anyone? Is there anyone out there? If you enjoy dentist drills, throw a comment down to say how many people like dentist drills.
No, they're not cool. Don't like them.
Okay, number 8. What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
Physiotherapy.
Just to hear the cracking noises?
Physiotherapy. And also, this may be like, I think this is like some people's secret pleasure. It's definitely mine, is like watching like those cysts and stuff like that burst.
Oh yeah.
And like those doctor pimple poppers and stuff like that.
Yes. Some of those are nasty, man.
They're mad, but I love that sort of stuff. So I'd love to have been like, I didn't think that you'd need like a degree and stuff to like just pop people's spots, but like apparently you do, sadly. So that's not, I know exactly what's that all about. So I'd love to have tried that. I think that would have been class.
Are you the kind of person that if they have a big scab, you're picking it?
I'm picking that. I'm getting my hand slapped off it saying don't do it, and I'm going straight back for seconds, like completely.
So number 9, what profession would you not like to do?
Would I not like to do? I think something where there's like, even in that industry, like brain surgeon or like something like that, where like there's maybe like like a tumor or something involved, and you've got such a high level of pressure on you. And like you're really, really, like the pressure would just be through the roof the pressure on performance would be really, really high.
Yes.
In terms of definitely physical performance, I've seen pictures on Instagram and social media. You don't know how complete gold they are, but like of like brain surgeons after like 24, 26 hour operations.
Yeah, I've seen pictures and they're wiped.
They're wiped, and you're just going, like, I don't know if you get like, yes, okay, you get very well paid, but like, is there an amount that can justify what you've just done?
It has to be a passion. It has to be something you love.
Yeah, and just as you mentioned that, I couldn't be any form of like soldier or anything like that. I went paintballing one day and I was scared for my life. I got hit in the hand like 5 times. I was like, not for me. Not my gig.
Okay, question number 10.
Cool.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, nice. You have lived to your potential and you couldn't have done any more.
Excellent.
So like just that like real, there was absolutely nothing more you could have done. That's not my biggest fear. I'm going to go into like Coach Carter. My biggest fear is not that we are rational. My biggest fear is we are powerful beyond measure. But no, like that.
So was that a Sam Jackson impression there?
So like, it's like that idea of like somebody saying to you, well, this is class. Look what you did. You changed this many people's lives, and you helped this person understand this, and you taught this person this. But I'm really sorry, but here's what you could have done. You could have done, I gave you the power to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, and you just didn't. I gave you the opportunity as well, but you were too shit scared and you didn't do it. Do you know what I mean? And that is so, it's not terrifying, but it's just sort of like, oh, frig, I missed out on that opportunity. Do you know what I mean? So
living life to its fullest.
Living life to its fullest.
So Matt, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very, very
much.
much.
And if people want to live their life to the fullest, where can they find you if they need help with their weight loss?
So I have a couple of different social media platforms. My biggest one is Coached by Matt, and that's my Instagram.
And you just type that into
Instagram. Yeah, Coached by Matt. It is Coached by Matt _ Some other guy from England has Coached by Matt.
Okay, well, we'll link it below anyway.
So Coached by Matt, and then there's 2 different ways of contacting me, 3 different ways of contacting me. My email's there, my phone numbers, you can give me a call or a text message, or you can just drop me a direct message. One of the 3.
Well, folks, that was very informative. I learned a lot, and I hope you did too. So if you need any help with your weight loss, get in contact with Matt, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Educating Aiden. But the conversation doesn't stop here. If you have any questions or just want to find out about upcoming episodes, then follow Educating Aiden on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like and subscribe on YouTube, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for listening.